Welcome back. This story is called How to Smuggle LSD Through the Tel Aviv Airport. After I graduated from college, I went to Israel as a tourist for 3 weeks. I traveled around by myself. Sometimes I was with a friend, somebody who I met along the way, and went to different places, different sites in Israel. I had brought with me a little square of LSD. It was on a little piece of cardboard, and it was four hits, if you will, attached together. The total thing was about the size of a postage stamp. And what I did was I took this LSD, I wrapped it in foil, and then I put it in the bottom of a match box. So there's a box of matches, and under the matches is this piece of foil. After the 3 weeks, I never used it. I never touched it while I was in Israel. When I left Israel, I flew from Israel to London, where I met my girlfriend, and then we traveled around Europe for another 5 weeks. I was in the airport. I had a backpack, a big backpack. I checked that in as checked luggage, but I had my carry-on backpack with me. And I put that, on the conveyor belt, and it went through, for the X-ray. And when you're in Tel Aviv, everyone that works in the airport is in the army, is a soldier. There's no civilians working there. Everyone's in uniform. From the woman who checks you in to the person who takes you to your gate, whatever, they're all in uniform. So I've got my backpack on the conveyor belt, and there's this guy, a soldier. He opens it up and he starts searching. He starts physically searching through my backpack. And he finds this box with this matchbox. And I'm like, oh my God, he's got the matchbox in his hand. Now on this, by the way, these little squares of paper were completely white. Sometimes they have like a little stamp on them, like a Mickey Mouse or something. That's why they said, be careful when you have children. There was a big scare at the time about children, licking these things, thinking that they're tattoos and then getting high on LSD. But this one didn't have anything. It was just plain white. But it was clearly perforated, so you could break them apart. So he starts looking through my bag. He finds the matchbox. He's got the matchbox in his hand, okay? And I'm watching this guy. He opens it up. He starts fingering through the matches, okay? And he sees this piece of foil on the bottom of the matchbox. And I'm thinking to myself, well, there's no more obvious sign of drugs than having something wrapped in foil without any, explanation. He opens the foil, okay? And now he's got this white little piece of cardboard in his hand. And he shows him and he goes, what is this? I'm like, what do I say? And I said, oh, well, that's just a little piece of paper that I carry around in case I have to write a note. Okay, that was a lie. I mean, it was LSD. That's why I had it. And he says to me, he goes, it's not crack, is it? I'm like, no, it's not crack. Aha, I laughed at him. He took this piece of foil, he wrapped it back up, he wrapped the LSD back up the way it was, put it in the matchbox, closed the matchbox cover, and put it back in the box, or back in the bag. And I thought to myself, oh my God, this guy's gonna get high, because when you touch LSD like that with your fingertips, it can penetrate your skin and, give you a trip. So I figured 2 hours later, this guy's gonna start tripping. But he never said anything. He never called his supervisor or his authorities or anybody. I went to the gate. So I got to the gate. And while I'm sitting there, I hear my name over the loudspeaker. Go to the information desk. I'm like, oh my God, this guy told somebody I'm gonna get busted. I'm gonna go to prison here in Israel. So I go to the information desk, and there's a woman sitting there in uniform, and I'm like, "What? You called my name. What do you want? What do you want?" Of course, she wouldn't say anything. So the name information was a misnomer because she didn't give me any information. She goes, "Go with that. Go with him. Go with some other soldier." So I go into some other room, and now they do a search. They do a body search of me, and they take my shoes, my sneakers, and they take the insoles out of my sneakers, and they're looking inside like I had something stuck under there. I'm like, why are they doing this? Why don't they know about the LSD that they're searching for? So they put my shoes back together and they sent me on my way. So I got back to the gate and I was totally freaked out. The guy who was in front of me in line was a Panamanian citizen, and he showed me in his suitcase that he had an Israeli army uniform. He met some soldier while he was traveling who gave him or traded him for a uniform. I'm like, holy shit, this guy's got an Israeli army uniform in his bag, and they didn't question him. They just let it go. I mean, if he was a terrorist, he could put that on and strap himself with bombs and walk right into any place and blow himself up. But they didn't. They never bothered that guy. So on the plane ride over from Tel Aviv to London, I was so freaked out that I had 3 gin and tonics on the plane on the way over. So I was pretty much sauced by the time I got to England. And that, my friends, is how to smuggle LSD through the Tel Aviv airport. Don't forget to read my book, Broccoli Time, by Dante, available now on Amazon Books.